All right, Devin, it's time to take our attention up to Delaware. A few marquee matchups tonight.
Absolutely. One in each class, too. Smyrna and Salesianum could be a championship preview. Woodbridge Lake Forest is more than likely a playing game. But to start with the oldest rivalry in Delaware, Laurel and Seaford, Brander, it was a 1A heavyweight bout.
Now check it out. The stand's empty tonight due to a safety threat. Only teams and certain parents allowed at the gates tonight. Hey, Braden Hearn has been incredible for Laurel in the middle of that line. Laurel dominating out of the gate, already up 16-0. Another Laurel Bulldogs game, another monster effort by Kylese Wilson. Runs it up the gut and in for the score. And the Bulldogs in full control. But just when you thought Laurel would coast to victory, Seaford came back to life. Jazante Levin galloping 70 yards for Seaford's first score. But of course, the Bulldogs with the response.
Mike Gonzalez-Perez boots a 33-yard field goal with just 4 seconds left in the first half. A Seaford kick return made it 26-12 at halftime, and Seaford with possession out at half. The pass is ruled live, and Tate Walls falls on it. Laurel gets it back on offense, and then it's Tate Walls getting the call and taking it back for the score. Laurel takes this 1A shot out 40-20.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this matchup for weeks. A chance for Laurel to be tested.
Yep.
Seaford, a talented roster, and they did put up 20 on
yep.
the Bulldogs, which Laurel had given up 19 combined before this game, which, I mean, Laurel has not been tested at all this year.
Yeah.
So we were looking forward to this, but this game really showed that Laurel is that much better than the rest of the Henlopen South, even all the teams in the 2A. Big game up north was St. Elizabeth and Charter. Battle of undefeateds up there in the 1A, and St. E's took care of business easily. So we're looking like we're destined for a rematch. Laurel and St. Elizabeth, and Quasim Benson, 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, all in the first half for St. Elizabeth. I can't wait for that 1A
Yeah,
matchup.
that's going to be a great game. And Laurel has been the Goliath that just hasn't been slain yet. I mean, the Seafords, Seaford has played the Bulldogs a lot better this season than they did last year, but it just wasn't enough to win today. But again, 20 points on that defense is actually very impressive.
All right, now we move to the 3A. This could be a championship preview like we mentioned. Smyrna's defense is maybe the top unit in the state, and they kick off the scoring for the Eagles here. Nazir Jenkins, the linebacker, on the pick 6. And this is a big matchup. Smyrna taking on Salesianum. Eagles backed up at their own 1-yard line. Doesn't matter, though. Ymir Knight breaking loose. Hey, no one's catching him in the state of Delaware when he's in open field. 99 yards, and he is in for the score. Smyrna up 14-0. But the Eagles found themselves trailing late in the third. Markel Hallman weaving his way in for the score. And, hey, Smyrna scoring 22 unanswered points to finish out this ball game. The Eagles with a statement victory, 42-21. Can't overstate that win.
Now to Felton, Lake Forest hosting Woodbridge. The Spartans came out the gate on a mission. Jameer Snell moving past the defense. He's dragged down at the 5-yard line. And then Aiden Young smashes it in. Spartans score. Now they would get a 2-point conversion, making it 8-0 early in this game. And the Blue Raiders try to punch back. Tracy Johnson, he's not going to like what he sees on the right side, the running back. So instead of getting tackled, he's going to go left and make some moves on the ground. And that would be the only real positive play of the first half for Woodbridge. Lake Forest would swallow up Woodbridge's offense, forcing 2 fumbles in just the first quarter alone. Lake would capitalize on both the fumbles, scoring on each turnover, going up 22-0 in the first quarter. They would lead by 58 at halftime, 58-0, winning this game 58-14.
I still can't believe it. Woodbridge gave up 58 in the first half
alone.
This is just unbelievable. All right, let's move on now to a 3A District 3 matchup in the 2A. Delmar hosting Caravel. Gavin Powell in desperation mode late in the fourth, biding his time, finding Gage Wintermoyer in the end zone. Problem was, Bucks were up 24-14. This matchup was big for who would qualify for the 2A playoffs. I think both of these teams are in at the end of the day. Caravel wins by 10, cementing their hold on the district. Delmar was third in the standings. Now they fall to fourth, just on the cusp of failing to qualify for the state tournament. But after Woodbridge's loss tonight, I think that Delmar doesn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, it was a really good game. Now we have other scores from the Henlopen to get to you. Sussex Tech loses to Milford 46-35. Appoquinimink beats Cape Henlopen 21-14.
And Indian River did win 38-0 over First State Military Academy as well.
And now, Brandon, the Lake Forest domination over Woodbridge basically solidifies their spot in the 2A playoffs this season. But obviously, we could talk more about what just happened, in between Laurel and Seaford. That game was a really, really good game. But Laurel had to win that one 40-20. And we still have a lot of other teams that are kind of getting ready to show themselves for what they'll be like in the playoffs in the next couple coming weeks for the DIAA tournament.
I'm surprised by how Seaford played on defense because Caden Shockley ran a lot of option plays tonight and gained a lot of yards going to his left. And it seemed like Seaford just couldn't figure out how to stop that option play over and over and over again. It just seemed like it kept working every single play. I was surprised by that.
And I was also surprised Lake Forest 58-0. I don't think that I don't know how that happened. By the time I got there, they scored literally within the first 2 minutes, got a fumble, scored again in the next 2 minutes, got another fumble.
I don't know how you give up 58 points in 24 minutes of play.
A lot of turnovers.
Anyway, let's talk about some positive stuff. Smyrna showing us tonight some real toughness against Salesianum. Sally's has maybe the best defensive line in the state of Delaware, and Smyrna handled them. This could be a championship preview. They finished strong tonight, 22 unanswered to finish the game out in the final 12 minutes. So I got to say, in the 3A, Smyrna, Middletown, Sally, Central, you can make a case for any of those teams going out and winning the championship this year.
Yeah, these playoffs are going to be insane. Now, before we talk more about that, let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Rich Werdzik for a look at your forecast. Plus, we continue our candidate coverage ahead of the midterm elections. Hear what Delaware candidate for state rep Jeff Hilbowski has to say about his campaign.
Hi, my name is Fred Johnson, head coach at Lake Forest High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.